the people from the south, Amici, Peter Obi, and the rest of them, are going to be used by the northerners to snatch power from the south for another 8 years. And at that time, their arithmetic would have come to fruition. The northerners are not looking at since 1960 when Nigeria became independent, and the number of years both military and civilian administrations had spent. When you look at that, the northerners had spent close to 47 years out of about 60 years. Okay. 65. So what is left for the south is just infinitesimal. Right from Gowon, apart from Aguiyi Ironsi, who else from the south? Up to Gowon, Gowon to Muritala, Muritala to Buhari. Obasanjo came in by providence, the same way Jonathan came in by providence. After Obasanjo, Shagari came in. From Shagari, we had Obasanjo again.
Okay. So
now, look at the number of years. But what they are saying in the north, let me analyze this. It's not for us in the studio, for Nigerians to understand the mindset of those people that are coming together. They are just like foxes, and they are trying to outwit themselves. And when you have people like that have mutual distrust in working for them in their midst, what they are heading to perdition. Now, the northerner is not talking about 1960. They are talking about 1999 today. And they are telling you that the northerners have only served 10 out of 26 years as it stands today. And by 2027, it will be 28. So, which means the southerners have utilized 18 years and they only have 10. So, surreptitiously, they are using these people to corner power again.
All right, now
so that they can level up.
I will stay with you on this, really. And I want to ask, based on the statements accredited to former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, saying that INEC and the APC are working hand in hand to hijack the next election. Looking at that conversation, do you think voters' confidence going into the next election would have any strength in the next election?
You see, it is better for us to properly situate issues, especially on a national television like this, rather than rely so much on speculation. Myself and my partner here, we have already agreed that these people are aggrieved. And an aggrieved person can lie anytime. So why are you holding on to Amechi's lies?
Now, one of the reasons why I brought up that part of Amechi's conversation as concerning INEC
is on the part of Beavers. Has he not been a past beneficiary of that? Why did he not protest against it? When he was benefiting from it?
Now, Mr. Fadimo, I'm particular about voters' confidence.
We are too lazy and docile for us to wrestle power from these people. Regardless of ADC, SDP, APC, Labour Party, and all the rest, everybody in all the political parties, they are scavengers. Scavenging for themselves. And it's a survivor of the fittest game. Whoever is able to grab power becomes the dominant factor until when that power is wrestled away from him. And that is the lot of Nigerians. So we'll continue to groan and groan and groan because this thing you are talking about, okay, election didn't count. Some people won in places that ordinarily they wouldn't have won in that election. Right. And some people lost in places that it felt it was a stronghold. So how much of what we are saying is we are complicit in what is happening to us as far as politics is concerned in Nigeria. You and I, we know, I have covered elections since 1993. Okay. And I know how people compromise during election day when they see 5,000, 10,000.
Okay. Because of
so when you have people like that, how much of convincing do you want to give that you extract commitment that they will not collect money?
You know, that was why we've actually established all those things that we call the faults that we're finding. You know, we've actually established every other thing we have as our own vice and our own loopholes. And we're asking, how then are we going to fix Nigeria? Only if you're, saying that you're comfortable with the way Nigeria is at this point in time.
Change the value system.
And then you don't think that we need to work
change
on anything.
Change the value system. Ghana has led us in their last election.
How do we change the value system?
Of rice to some communities.
And they rejected
and chased them away. Let's begin to have that here. Then the politicians will now know that they will be returned to office based on what they have done, not how much money they have amassed to bribe the electorate.
These Fulanis and Hausas, they know the sermon to preach during election to get to the emotions of these middle belters. Once it's time for election, they start preaching, oh, we are all northerners. We are all this, we are all that. Listen, without the population of North Central, these Fulanis and Hausa are irrelevant politically in Nigeria. And this is what this North Central have refused to realize. A few of them had actually realized it. The political power that these Fulanis and Hausas enjoy in Nigeria today is courtesy the middle belters. The cultural gloating, the cultural power, and the cultural authority that they are the majority that these Hausas enjoy today is courtesy the middle belters. Because if you go to northern Nigeria and you want to collect data for census, that's population census, you will see these middle belters feeling Hausa as first language, and they have their own indigenous language. They all have their own internal language that they speak, that they use to communicate. If you've been there, you will understand what I'm saying. But once the moment that matters approaches, you see them feeling Hausa, giving Hausa people more leverage, more strength. And they are yet to realize these things. When I was in Gombe State, this was my gospel. This was what I was telling them. You can't be flexing, romancing the muzzles of these Hausas. And you guys have done it in such a way that everyone in southern Nigeria now thinks that once you approach Kogi, from Kogi to Connaught is Hausa, because of what you guys are doing. Now, if you look at your screen, this is a comment of someone from Middle Belt, North Central, saying that, oh, they dislike it whenever we associate them with these Fulanis and Hausas and blah, 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 blah. Listen, sir, with all due respect, you Middle Belters have not been able to prove it to the world and other parts of Nigeria that you are different from these Hausas. Because once election approaches, election is a very crucial moment to distinguish yourself, but no, you guys will team up with them. Any candidate they show forth, watch it, that candidate will win. In Kwara, win. In Kogi, win. In Benue, win. In what's it called? Niger. And then the only difference, and I hail those people a lot, Plateau State. That's the reason when I went to Plateau State, I felt like, this one I worry, this one I not worry. To be honest with you, I'm just giving you a very honest feedback. When I enter Jos, I just think this one another worry, because those guys there, they are purely different in attitude, the way they reason, and apart from Jos and maybe Southern Kaduna, you get, apart from Jos and Kaduna, every other place in the North Central, when it comes to behavioral pattern, you guys behave like them. Dressing, you dress like them. Food, all of you, you get. So I'm just being honest with you. So you guys are being used, dumped, and you are still in the game of giving them political power. I was discussing with some of my friends who, are Middle Belters, and I asked them, what have you gained from this parasitic union that you are in with these Fulanis and Hausas? They keep using you. They keep betraying you. And in return, they came to your bushes and they start maiming your people, kidnapping your people, raping, sacking your family, sacking your villages. Because if you look at the home of this Herders Farmers Clash, it's in the North Central. The Fulanis rewarded you with banditry, kidnapping, Herders Farmers Clash, and on. And you are still in this union. I call it parasitic union because you are not getting any positive result from it. Did you know what they replied me? All these middle belts. Did you know what they replied me, my friends? They said, parasitic union, but you give us Abuja, we don't get Abuja. And I said, hold on. If you guys are not thinking properly, is Abuja a commercial center? Number one. Is there any booming industry that can actually employ Nigerians in Abuja or employ middle belters in Abuja? A place where they are busy building estates, unnecessary estate everywhere, and people cannot afford it. Okay, let's go down to the politics. Are Middle Belters in charge of Abuja? Has any Middle Belters ever, assumed the position of FCT minister over the years? Even some of the local government chairmen, they are not from the region. From that point, they kept mute. They kept mute. Bam. So, see, these people keep brainwashing you people in the Middle Belt that you are the same. And I'm not seeing you guys fighting it. If there is you just need to realize that you guys have not been able to prove to other parts of Nigeria and the world at large that you are different from these Fulani and Hausa guys. And they are using you to achieve whatever thing that they want to achieve. When the crucial time of decision making approach, they will say you guys are one. The moment that time is over, everybody to your tent to Israel. And it's not only happening between the Hausa Fulanis and the Middle Belt. Every other language, every other state. When the moment of decision making comes, oh, we are on one, we are on one. When it's time for reward, they will not select the goons, the cartel, and they will share the reward amongst themselves. For instance, if you go to the east, the Igbos, when crucial time approaches, they are all Igbos. But when the time for reward, they want to share reward, share dividends, all those better Igbos, they are not real Igbos. They are not real. I'm telling you what I have witnessed. No, they like even now. They are not real Igbos. Forget those people. They are not real Igbos. Then go to the west, the Yorubas. You start hearing are they Yorubas? On those states, they are not Yorubas. Are those mixed race? They are not Yorubas. This is who we are. All over the nation, these things abound. Until now, reason this one, they tell us so. When I go chichichi, when I go chon chon chon, we know they pray. I don't go feel full now.
Northerners are crying that Tinubu is using only the Westerners to run his own office, the same way Buhari did. Now, because of that, the Northerners are now crying that they want coalition and they want to use Obi as vice, which is unfair. We accepted it before, because we accepted it before, doesn't mean that we're going to accept it. Why must it be Southerners? Anytime Southerners are president, then the North will always try to coalesce to remove a certain president. Why? Why must the North always coalesce to remove a certain president? Which I am not in support. If really they want a better country, the Northerners should give their own support to Peter Obi to run as president. This is my own opinion. And I'm not going to withdraw this opinion. This is my own opinion. The Northerners should also support Peter Obi if they know if really they love Nigeria so much and they believe that Nigerians are suffering, their people are suffering, they should support Peter Obi that is from South. Because it is when they will support Peter Obi that the South vote will break. Peter Obi will have majority of the Southerners. Peter Obi will have them. Peter Obi will have many supporters from the South, more than Tinubu. Yes, I'm serious. Then if somebody like El-Rufai should be the vice president to Peter Obi, or Kwankwaso should be the vice president to Peter Obi, then the Northerners will also try their own best to make sure they support Peter Obi to secure his own vote. At the end of the day, Tinubu will be removed. You telling me that in the past, the Northerners coalited to remove a Southerner. Then they want to also repeat that to remove a Southerner. That means Northerners has now planned on their own side to be removing certain presidents whenever they are in the office for only just one tenure. They want Southerners now to be in the office to only one tenure, and them will be in office for 8 years. Now, the same lie they lied to us 2015 that made Buhari become the president. And Buhari said he's going to run for only one tenure. And everybody thought that Buhari is going to fight corruption. You understand? Corruption increased at the end of the day because Buhari made a statement. When the day of his inauguration as the president, he made a statement about people that supported him. You understand? They are the people he knows. That statement was so corrupt. Now, because a Southerner is in that office, that same office, The Northerners now is now crying, running around for coalition to also remove another Southerner. If Northerners love the place that we are today is caused by these Northerners. The position we are, the suffering that we are suffering today is caused by the tribalism of the Northerners. Now, the Northerners are not claiming that they love Nigeria so much that Nigerians are suffering. If they believe, or like what they are saying, that the Nigerians are suffering and they want to rescue Nigerians from the hands of Tulumbu, the bad president, like what they are saying, let them all gather their weight and support P2B from the South. And with the South, we will support P2B too to become the president. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to achieve that goal, removing Tulumbu from the office to put a better president. Now, if we are thinking that Atiku will go there, we are talking about better country. We are talking about better country. We are talking about leaders that are not corrupt. You can't tell us because you just want to remove Tulumbu from office. That is what you are targeting. We are not targeting to remove any president. We are targeting to be a better country. To put in a good leader that will lead us and we will follow. A leader that will solve the problem of corruption in Nigeria. Like P2B said, he said the only way you can reduce corruption in Nigeria is to make sure the people around you are not corrupt. That is what he said. So, having said that, as many, I want you people to share this video, as many that are clamoring for supporting, for the support of Atiku as president and Obi as vice, I can never be a party to that. I will campaign against that because Northerners must not be coaliting all the time to remove a certain president. If what they are making the right choice. They really value Nigeria. They want Nigeria to function in a way it's supposed to be. Let them support the Southern. Rest my case. Make sure you share this video and follow Magic Empire. Thank you.
I think what the average Northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria and who has been able to build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the Northerner needs.